Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the Old Strathcona's Farmers Markets. It's been a while since we've been here. I've got my sign, and we've got about 4 people here. We're going to be just doing some outreach, pamphleting. We don't have enough people to run a cube today, but it's getting pretty cold. It's like -5 right now. But we'll see what kind of conversations we can come up with, and hopefully get some really good ones in to bring to you. Sorry, one question for you. Have you ever heard of this term, speciesism?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Do you know what like sexism, racism, all those other isms are, like a discrimination?
Yeah.
This is basically a discrimination against other species. So like, oh, that's a cow, they're less than me, I'm gonna eat them, you know? That's, they're black, I'm gonna hurt them, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's discrimination, right? Have you ever heard of being vegan?
Yeah.
Do you know, like, are you vegan or are you vegan?
I sort of have to be because I cannot have dairy anymore.
So like plant-based, right? Is that why, or?
No, just dairy gives me acne.
Yeah, and that's true. Actually, it does cause that. But do you eat any kind of animal products, or just not dairy? So you eat like meat and all that kind of stuff. Well, last question for you. What would be the hardest part for you, and I'm going to ask you separately, to be vegan today? What would be the hardest part about going vegan today?
I wouldn't be able to eat anything at all.
Yeah.
Because meat is the only thing that I can eat for health reasons. So.
The only thing you can eat for health reasons.
Yes.
Okay. How about you?
So.
I like
That
bacon.
would be bad. Starving.
I'm
Bacon.
free in some scenarios, but I like meat.
I think if the animals are treated well, then
Yeah.
it's fine.
Do you think that they like, so like
You're
what's
going to change my position on that.
no, but I just want to know from my own personal research here. You're saying that if they were treated better, what does that mean?
So, I mean, if they're grass-fed, free range, like you have chickens who forage for things running around in a forest on like, a quarter section of land, like, and then you butcher them eventually and like
Humanely.
Yeah. Like animals.
Do you know what the word humane means?
Yes.
What does it mean?
How would you define it?
I'll give the definition of it. It means to show compassion or benevolence, to be kind to somebody, right?
Yeah.
How do you be kind when you put a knife in somebody's throat and cut their head
That's
off?
not how
I was
they
going
do
to say,
it.
What's that?
My dad was raised on the dairy farm. That's not how they do it.
My grandfather was a dairy farmer too, yes. And actually, I'm not talking about dairy farmers. I'm talking about just the animal exploitation industry in general, right? Because what happens to dairy cows as soon as they're not able to produce any more milk? The mothers.
They sell them.
So what?
To who?
Okay.
To the beef industry, right?
So what?
Well, they don't.
And then they get turned into ground. Then they get. Yeah, they do. That's ground beef.
So what are your positions on these things, and why are you?
Just to give up animal products altogether. I mean, you don't need. I've been vegan for 5 years, and all these other people who are with me here, they've been vegan for X amount of years as well. And that's the way the world is going, right? I mean, like we got Beyond Meat and stuff like that, and I understand what you're saying, like dairy pride and all that kind of stuff. I was proud of being my grandfather, what he did too, right? But the thing is that if we wouldn't switch places with that dairy cow, why would we do it to another person or another species?
I have a question for you
Sure.
there on that one. I mean, so like what are some of your underlying like understandings about humans? Like, so you would say that we're the same as other animals?
I'm not saying you're the same as a cow. I'm not saying you're the same as a sheep or a pig.
We're the same levels.
Do they have the ability to suffer? That's all that matters. Does a cow or a pig or a sheep have the ability to suffer? Do you think that they want to suffer or die or be exploited? They have families too, right? What happens to produce milk, right? What do we have to do to a cow?
So, but just so I understand your position, you're saying that animals, because animals should be treated on this point about suffering and being treated with kindness and compassion, that they should be treated the same way as humans. Is that your?
They shouldn't be treated exactly the same as humans. I'm just saying that they are more valuable than your taste buds. I'm not saying they're more valuable the same as you.
Oh, but see, here's my problem. So, I think that humans actually are like more valuable than animals. I think that animals, because they're part of creation, they're important, and human beings have a role in stewarding them. So therefore, they should treat animals well while the animals are alive. But I also think that animals are necessary for human beings to they have certain qualities in their meats and their livers and all sorts of things that are really important for us as humans.
But I can say the same thing about you. You have probably some really great organs I could eat and give me all the nutrients I need, right? Or I could just eat plants, right?
Yes.
Which is more extreme, being vegan and just eating the plants that don't suffer, or breeding into existence almost 70 billion animals a year, killing our environment, killing ourselves, and also making them suffer immensely.
Right, but philosophically, my position is that human beings are made in the image of God, so I think they're more valuable than animals, even though animals are also valuable as part of God's creation. So I I take it that you probably disagree with me entirely
Religious,
on that
no.
philosophical assumption, but because that's where I come from, I think that as long as animals are treated like well during their lives, that they actually do serve an important purpose, and that their death is an important purpose. So then that's why I also take issue with your definition of humane, because okay,
Well, it is the definition.
Well, there's not only one definition of
The dictionary, if you look at the dictionary, you Google it, it'll say that.
Sure, but there's many definitions.
Well, then you basically you're changing it to suit your need, right?
Then you're,
I could say I'm going to humanely kill you, or I'm going to humanely
Sorry, are
beat
you
you.
guys in line?
Oh, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
we're not at all.
You know,
Thanks for asking.
you can't change words. That's called euphemisms, right? You're going to change the way it's an abattoir. It's not a slaughterhouse. Like, you're changing the definition,
I disagree
right?
with you fundamentally on that, because words have changed throughout time and have multiple definitions.
Yeah, and actually, and believe it or not, meat, the word meat, never used to mean just animal flesh. It actually used to mean sustenance, so it used to mean plants as well. So talk about it going both ways
Sure,
then, right?
yeah, for sure. Okay, so, but what I'm saying is I agree that humane could be defined that way, but to refer to it as the definition as if there are no other definitions of humane, I think is incorrect, because different people will disagree about what humane means. And I think it's great that you take that position, and I respect that, but I think that just saying well, this is the definition of humane, that doesn't really mean a lot. You need to justify why you're defining it that way and why that's important. Oh, not you specifically, but that position needs to be fleshed out a little bit in order for you to convince someone like me that that's how humane should be defined. But anyways, very pleased. So what's your name? Also, nice.
My name's Adam. Your name is?
No, we already have
Alyssa, nice to meet you.
Did you grab
We already
it?
have a pamphlet. Thank you.
Okay, and I just want one more question about sorry, I know that you want to get at here and stuff like that.
No, it's
but
interesting
you mentioned that
conversation.
the religion, right? You're saying that, God has created you in your image and stuff like that, right?
His image. Yeah, sorry, we're not in line.
I just
Hi.
wanted to know what speciesism.
Oh, well,
Here you go. I'll be right with you 1 second. I'm just finishing my conversation with her. If you can hang on for 5 seconds.
You need to.
You said, does God mandate that you have to eat meat?
No, I don't think you have to, but the point is that, and I understand that you would probably disagree, or you may disagree with this, but so we come as people, we have fundamental worldviews that shape, they're like lenses, like glasses, like blue
Sure.
glasses that we use to look out into the world. And so those worldviews are informed by certain fundamental assumptions about who human beings are,
Your values, right?
what the world
Yeah.
is, what's the purpose of being alive, how it was created, if at all, why are we here, etc. How do you explain good and evil in the world? And for me, the best explanation of the best lens that I can look through
Sure.
is the lens of Christianity through the Bible.
Sure.
So my understanding.
But God doesn't mandate eating meat in the Bible.
But he does. But he did.
He wouldn't throw you in hell for being a vegetarian, right, or a vegan?
No, of course.
So
that's not the
if you had the
point.
choice, and you would still be in the good book, right, with Saint Peter and God. If you had a choice between killing every animal you saw for no reason at all, killing animals just to sustain yourself, or living a cruelty-free life, which one of the three we think God would go for?
Animals. Well, for me,
No, what would he go for though? Not you. What would he if he created all of his animals, his creation, right?
He did kill animals to sustain his people. So.
But that was also 2,000 years ago when we're also killing each other, right? In the name of a book,
We're
right?
still killing each other in the name of a book.
But does it make that justifiable? Can we justify killing each other?
No, but that's another issue.
Well, it's still
But
killing.
the fundamental creation story in Genesis lays out a certain order in the world, with human beings at the top of that order, below God, responsible for stewarding creation.
Right.
And that question of stewardship, I think, is open to interpretation. And I agree with you that yes, killing the environment is bad, and killing for the sake of killing, even if it's killing animals for the sake of killing, is also a problem, because that is inconsistent with stewarding a resource that's made by someone else, that's been given to you as a gift. So that's why, but in the creation story, God still provided for his human creation to eat, and he said that they were in charge of naming the animals, and they were in charge of they could eat from whatever tree that they wanted, except for one which they did and then disobeyed, etc. But and I'm not saying that that literally happened, but the point is that the message is supposed to be true. So the point is that like human beings are the crown of the creation, but they also have a responsibility. So if we're talking about factory farms or some of this, like how people in urban centers are completely divorced from like being with animals and butchering them and like being responsible with that, or how the law, how judges have treated animal rights in that they've let really bad things happen to animals without giving consequences because they've had competing experts who have told them it's okay to leave a cow in pain for like 24 hours just because you didn't want to take care of it properly. Like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
But like, and I agree that it's important to respond to some of those issues, but I think that it's dangerous to take it too far the other direction, to mandate that everybody needs to, like, to that being humane means kindness and compassion and zero suffering whatsoever, so therefore we cannot kill meat kill animals even to sustain ourselves. That's just my position. I'm sure you still disagree.
I'm sure, like, and I can concede though that, like, if you were in a deserted island or in the middle of a forest and you were going to die if you didn't, eat that rabbit or that bird, which you'd have to use tools to. You're not a true carnivore. You wouldn't run down and rip it apart and eat it, right? You'd probably cook it and stuff, right, and use a bow and arrow.
But you also, like,
so you might, in that situation,
you able to do that.
Sorry?
But sorry, human beings also have like rational, creative abilities and are able to create tools to kill meat. So I mean.
So you're saying that if you're intelligent enough, you should be able to kill animals?
I'm saying that the fact that we do have those qualities suggests that like the argument that we should only eat vegetables because we're not we're not set up to be a carnivore like a lion is.
Yeah.
I don't think that argument holds a lot of water because I think that we have the capacity to kill meat or kill animals, sorry. But like, anyways,
but I have the capacity to kill you too, right? So, but I don't. I choose to because I've said that you want to live, right? You don't want to suffer, right?
Yeah.
So if they also don't want to suffer and they want to live, right?
So
why would we not grant them that same right to life?
So I'm also wondering, why is suffering the end-all be-all?
Well, do you like to suffer?
No, I don't like to.
How do I know that you don't want to suffer? Because you can rationalize it, right? You're saying that, I don't want to, don't hurt me, that's not right? What do they do in the slaughterhouses as soon as they walk down to the kill floor?
So
they run away, you know?
So, but what I'm saying is that if something has a higher end, then, like, for instance,
sorry, what's the higher end again?
Like
you're talking about like religion again, or?
No, like, in the sense that, so if, like, I'm going back to the sort of fundamental glasses that I see through. So if the, sorry, just a second. So if the human beings are the crown of creation and they have a responsibility to steward creation, but they also can eat and use the creation to, like, meet their needs, then the higher end of an animal's suffering, as long as that's minimized, can be to sustain the human beings who are on this level above the animals in creation. And so, like, I don't see that as a problem at all. And then I just think that as stewards, minimizing the suffering is important, but the fact that the animals have to suffer when we slaughter them, like, if we need them, like,
do you need to eat them though? That's the ultimate thing.
I think I do, and I think human beings do.
For what
you
purpose?
would disagree with me probably on the science behind that.
Yeah.
Because there is conflicting science on vegetarianism versus and the health effects that can have.
It's actually been well established, and actually all of our pamphlets show that. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, the largest group in all of the world, both vegans and non-vegans, they both concluded that a vegan diet. What?
You won't be able to persuade me on this because I have seen conflicting scientific reviewed literature that, like, a lot mounds of it on either side that both have different positions. So
there's always going to be the non-vegans out there that give a shadow of doubt, saying, "Oh, well, this study of 5 people says that it's actually better for." Yeah,
okay,
well, actually, look at the metadata.
I looked at some of this stuff myself.
Meta-analysis.
I disagree with you. Like, you're just not gonna. So, but that's fine. Like,
but you're entrenched in your ability to determine the actual what's factual and what's going to confirm your bias.
No, not necessarily.
I disagree.
About your opinion.
What's that?
You could say the same thing about your opinion, though, too. You're not going to change your mind either.
Well, I'm saying that I've actually looked at the studies as well. You may say that you've looked at studies. What happens to the dairy industry? Let's go back to you. Let's find out what happens to cows.
No, but
What happens? Why do they need
let's
to be?
focus on the issue of whether human beings actually need meat.
You don't need it. What do you need it for?
No, but that's why I'm saying.
Look, give me your best argument why you need to eat meat.
Personally,
Yeah.
I have some serious gut health issues.
Leaky gut or something, or
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've actually, my body has almost completely healed in the last year from me eating almost entirely bone broth, meats, and liver and dairy products.
Okay. I feel real bad for your intestines right now.
So, but you know what? They're mostly better, and I actually have normal health, like most people should.
Okay. Well,
So-
it's not a health issue because speciesism is not about health.
Okay, but anyway, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for the interesting conversation. I think we'll head out.
I still think you should be vegan though.
Closing argument. Okay.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much.